Hello, everyone. Welcome to Soul Conversations. This space was created for honest stories, stories of life, faith, and the many seasons that we walk through. I've been a Christian for over 18 years, and I've had my ups, downs, frustrations, disappointments, and discouragements. Through all of it, it was not sermons that led me to God. It was definitely people's stories. When they shared their stories about obedience, struggles, fulfillment, waiting, growth, those were the stories that pushed me back subtly to God. And I thought, if those stories could help me go back to God, why can't it help others as well? And that is how Soul Conversations was born. So today's conversation is very special to my heart. Today's guest is someone who invited me to the church, who introduced God to me, and who has walked this faith journey along with me. It is Nadine Sheetal. Sheetal, thank you so much for coming here and doing this for us. And I'm so glad you're here.
Hey Soumya, thank you so much for having me here. I'm so happy to be here.
So yeah, to begin us off, Sheetal, how did your journey with God start? Can you tell us a bit about it?
I think I was introduced to God when I was in 8th standard.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I was 14 years old. So my auntie introduced us to God. Uh, my mom got introduced first. She became a disciple, and then my sister. And then I was always curious about what is this new thing. We were grown up as a Catholic,
Mm.
right? And we knew so much about God, and we always read our Bible. And what is this? Suddenly, my family is making this switch to what kind of church is this? And then we started going to this new church, and we started studying the Bible. We had people come over to our house and teaching about God. And what really touched me is the perspective of God they showed. I
Mm.
mean, all this while, the God that we were taught about is He's a distant God, He's far off. You have to go with a lot of fear to Him.
Right.
But then when they introduced God to us, they showed us that He's not a distant God. He's a
True.
God who's close. You can keep Him close. You can be close to Him. And it is not fear driven, it is love driven.
True.
So this perspective change helped me know more about God. And that's when I was more curious, and I studied the Bible and I became a disciple.
That's so
Yeah.
beautiful. And because you did that, I'm here.
True.
So, like
Yeah.
I said, you played a huge, important part in my faith journey. Uh, Now, when you look back at those years, how do you view your walk with God?
So, honestly speaking, Soumya, I think when I got baptized, it was definitely the right mindset. I want to know this God and I want to get close to Him, deepen my relationship with Him. But as time passed by, I think it became more of works.
Mm.
I think I had to do certain things to be in a certain position or to impress certain people. And I think
Mm.
those early years, if I have to really look back,
Mm.
um, honestly, I would say it was not a walk of faith. It
True.
was it was
Mm.
walk. It was a walk only done by works.
Mm.
So I started doing a lot of ministry. I started engaging myself in a lot of activities.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I was
Mm.
in 8th standard, right, when
Mm.
I became a disciple.
Mm.
So I was in my teen years.
Mm.
We had a lot of activities happening in the church. We used to have teens camps. We used to
Mm.
have uh, swamp came much
Mm.
later on, but then
Mm.
we used to have summer camps and a lot of things. And I think I used to be everywhere. I made sure my
We
presence
know
is
that.
felt everywhere. and
Yes.
and and I am not sure how much my heart was there,
Mm.
but my presence was there definitely. And I
Mm.
think
Mm.
I loved that feel of getting famous, and
Mm.
people knew me all over the church, and
Mm.
uh, just being on the stage felt very nice. And I think first few years of my life went that way, like
Mm.
getting the name, getting the fame. And
Mm.
I think back then I didn't really realize what I was doing.
Mm.
Now, if I have to look back, I see what was I really doing? Was that really my walk in faith?
Mm.
Answer is no.
Mm.
Yeah. So my first few years, what was all about works, all
Mm.
about doing things.
Mm.
Faith
Mm.
was
Mm.
no, zero.
But now you've grown.
Yeah.
But if you
So
have
much
to,
more.
that's right. So if you have to describe your journey with God in one sentence, what would it be now? Now
So
that you
many
have.
sentences I can say. But I think one sentence, if I have to think of, I think, Soumya, every time I lost my way,
Mm.
God walked me back home.
Amazing.
So that's why I love this song.
Mm.
I always constantly sing,
Mm.
what a faithful God I have. faithful in every way. I think
Every
when I
ways.
look back at my life, or even now, I lost my way. He made sure I got back home to him. And I felt that every time he came after me, he chased after me. He never left me away. Just like a story of the lost sheep, right? Like
Right, right,
he
right.
leaves the 99 behind
Yeah.
and goes after one. Now
Yeah.
this happened to me even after I got saved. So a lot
Yes.
of time we think before we are saved, God comes after us, and then we
True.
get baptized and God leaves us. No.
Yeah.
But for me it was even after I got baptized, I think he came in search of this one soul till I turned my heart fully towards him.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
What a wonderful God we have. And
Yes,
like you said,
yes.
what a faithful God we have.
Faithful God.
Okay, so moving on. During your single years, I think ministry was such a huge part of your life. What did that season teach you about the purpose?
So, like I mentioned, initial few years was a lot of work related. And then I think there was one point of time in my life I felt the calling. I felt there was some kind of internal stirring that happened inside me. I felt what I'm doing is not right. I think I need to get my heart right. So I started focusing more on loving people in front of me. And who was in front of me? Teens were in front of me. So, right, our church, Kripalaya, this side, we have very few people. So we were a bunch of girls, young girls, you, me, and few other friends, and we were like so focused, and we really want to do something, give
Right.
back in the ways we can serve God. And I think for me it was I wanted to do ministry with teens, and not like a ministry because you cannot really do any ministry with teens. I think I felt like I want to really love them. And for me, ministry was loving. So just because I got baptized when I was a teen, I think I was drawn to serving in the teens ministry. And purpose was not something very big, Soumya, like this is my vision, this is my mission. Purpose was not like that. It was very simple. This is my ministry. I think God is calling me to serve this ministry, and I want to purely love them. Now, that love can be anything. If a teen has failed in her exams, just go be with that person, encourage that person. If a teen is hungry, take that person out for food. If a teen is not, good with any subjects, teach that teen that subject. So these were my acts of service. And I think I also got myself involved in teaching the Bible to a lot of uh, newcomers, because I always felt I had this in me. I think we all believe in gifts of the Holy Spirit, right? And I always felt I am teachable. I can also teach. So I always thought that whatever I learn, I'm not a person who would like to keep that inside me. You would have seen that.
Yes.
We both are like that, right?
Yeah.
We hear a sermon and like, Soumya, this is what I learned. And even you are like that.
Yes.
And that's how I am with all my friends. I will not wait for an opportunity. Okay, now I'm getting time to preach. I have to preach. It's not like that. Anytime, any moment, if you want to share something, you share. So my idea of ministry and serving was loving the people who are in front of you and teaching whatever you learned. So I think this is how I spent the second half of my initial years of becoming a disciple.
That's so nice. That's so beautiful. I think most of the times we think service is something bigger, right?
Bigger, yes.
But I think like showing love as well, sometimes we think it is shown in bigger ways. But as you said, it's such small ways, If someone fails, encourage them.
Yeah.
If someone is hungry,
True.
take them out. I think love can be shown in all those
I
different
think
ways.
back then, even taking a teen to a small place like KFC was a big thing,
Was a
right?
big thing,
Just
correct.
to see that smile on their face.
Yes.
I think we started earning by then, so
Yes.
it was not a great deal for us to take someone out for a coffee or KFC or McDonald's. I think that was my acts of service, and I felt this was pushing me. This was my purpose back then.
I think those services helped a lot of teens come to God.
Yes, yes,
Just because of what you did.
Yes, and I also felt my character being shaped, being more empathetic, being more putting myself in their shoes and see what it feels like being with them.
I think all the teens will definitely agree with me. Sheetalakka is what I keep listening. And I'm sure, I think even now they hold you as that, inspirational model in the church, because I think because of what you did, because of how you taught them, I'm sure a lot of teens are inspired.
Praise
Thank
God.
you for sharing that. Okay, so Sheetal, what was it like waiting for marriage while being deeply committed to God?
I think it was a roller coaster ride for sure.
Definitely.
So I think when we were after 25 is when we actually thought of marriage. Till then, we were in our own la la land and having fun. And we had so much of fun and doing ministry and doing so many things. I think after 25, and few of our friends got married, is when we thought, oh,
Right.
we are also getting old. We should also look for someone
I
and
think we should look for someone.
look for someone. And then that's when it started hitting. And I think 25, 26 also not like very desperate, but then as I think for me, the more I started shifting my focus from God to people is when I started becoming more desperate and becoming more anxious.
That's
Till
right.
then, my focus was God, and I
God.
focused on Him. I felt it's fine,
Hmm.
it's okay. Life moves on, and I'm preparing myself. But when I start shifting my focus on people and others' success, others are getting married. So I kind of what to say, categorized success as people getting married, people having children. They're successful. What am
Correct.
I doing? I'm
Correct.
just having a 9 to 6 job, getting up, going to office, coming back, doing some ministry, and getting back home. I felt so hopeless, right? And it was definitely a big struggle. But I think having a mentor along with me, walk this journey with me, constantly. Who fed me, with God's words and told me it is not, you are not whole only if you get married.
That's
You
right.
are whole on your own,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
So don't make this waiting period as a waiting room for marriage.
True. True.
Right? You enjoy yourself, you embrace this season, right? Live your life, focus on financial independence, focus on grooming yourself, focus on grooming yourself means like shaping your character. Like I had a lot of prayer requests, Soumya, like my husband should be like this, my husband should be like that, he should be this person. But then if I have to ask those questions back at me, I was not sure if I was this kind of person,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
So what happened is I started switching. So these are my prayer requests for a person whom I want to get married to. Prayer request means these are the characters I want to look forward to in a person I'm getting married to. Am I this person? So I started really investing myself in trying, not fully, but trying to become that person I'm looking for in another person, right? For example, if I want someone to be a good listener,
True.
that's what I prayed for. That person should be a good listener. He should listen to me. And then when I asked that question to myself, am I a good listener? Answer was no. So let me prepare myself.
Yeah.
So what eventually started happening is I started using this waiting period as something to prepare myself. Because
Nice.
somebody else is also praying for me, right?
Right.
So it was not easy, as it sounds. It was definitely not easy. I had those days where I used to cry. I used to feel like anxious, what's happening. And as you know, we can get married only in our community, our church.
Correct.
And when I felt like we are moving past in our ages, and then you don't see anybody at all, it was like got me very, very anxious. But then having a mentor with me, right, really, really helped. I think seeking help is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of
True.
strength.
True.
So when I was going through something, I always had someone I constantly kept in touch with.
That's right. Yeah.
I constantly kept in touch with. So she helped me a lot.
Amazing.
Her name is Beena, I have to mention.
Yes, you have to.
So she helped me a lot in my single years and constantly fed me with God's word, faith.
Right.
And yeah, that kept me going somewhere.
Right. I think having a mentor is such outdated thing now, but having a mentor is always a plus. It really helps us in our journey. Okay, moving on. How did you guard your heart during that season?
It was very difficult, Soumya, honestly speaking. I think being a single, when the world is constantly bombarding you with a lot of stuff,
That's right.
I think standing apart or keeping yourself holy, it is very different and difficult. Not different, difficult,
Difficult.
right? So when you're at work, constantly you have to say so many no's in your mind, and sometimes you should also be vocal about it. So I think a lot of times I also gave into a few things, uh, which uh, which was not very right for me to do that time. Even falling in relationship with someone who didn't know God, and nurturing that relationship, even though back of your mind you knew it was not right, but still somewhere you feel like, I think he'll become a disciple, or I think, things will change with us, having that false hope. And then you're still nurturing this
Yes.
relationship, having
Yes.
that hope that things will change. I think I have given into a lot of stuff like that. And then I thought I'll pray about it, and then God will make it happen. Or, so guarding my heart was very difficult. But then every time, like, we used to have our D times with my mentor, right? And I used to be very honest with her. I think honesty is something that always helped me.
That's
I
so
would
right.
mess up royally, and I would
Correct.
come back and say, I messed up royally. And I had this person who would never judge me for whatever
True.
I'm saying.
Right.
She would always help me with scriptures. She would always basically walked in hand with me and helped me overcome. So she would also hold me accountable. So I think having someone hold you accountable for something is very important.
That's right.
Because if you're on your own, then you feel like I can just do life like the way I want. But then if you have someone holding you accountable for something, then you're like, okay, I have to keep this person accountable. I'm not saying just keep a random person accountable, but someone you trust, someone you feel this person is equally showing interest in my life, like I'm showing in my own life. So you need to have that kind of tribe with you. Not just one, I've had many. I've had you. I've had so many of my friends who walked this journey with me, and constantly keeping them, not like informed. You're not giving information about yourself, but then just keeping yourself vulnerable to them helps you. So that's how I kept myself guarded. And if at all I went astray, I have my friends to hold on to me and say, you know what, I think this is not right what you're doing. So that's how I had things that helped me guard my heart.
Thank you so much.
Though I want to mention, I did fall. I wouldn't say I never fell at all. I have fallen many times.
Obviously, I think we are all prone to sin because we are, I think there is sin in our flesh. But as Proverbs says, the righteous man will fall 7 times, but, he knows how to get up and he will get back to God. And that is more important. And was there a moment where you felt God clearly reassure you of your marriage? Because you were waiting and then you wanted some kind of a reassurance from God.
I wouldn't say there was one moment. There were several moments.
That means it is more reassuring.
More reassuring. So it's very funny, weird, or I don't know how you want to name it. I always have these conversations with God. I'm like, you have to do this for me to know. For me to know this is from you, because how else will I know? You need to do this for me to know this is from you. So I always told God when I was praying for marriage that when I am dating someone, after finishing, when I get back, I should be at peace.
That's important.
God, you give me the peace. Don't give me confusion.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know you're a God of clarity, you're a God of order.
That's nice.
So if this is from you, I need clarity. When I was dating Freddie, I think every time I dated him, it was he was from North, I was from South. I didn't even know this man existed until I,
God
chatted
just
with him. Never seen him in any of the, conferences, or never heard of him. We met and then we spoke, we started dating and understanding each other. So every time I went back home, I felt, I want to know him more. I want to go another date. I want to understand him more. I want to take it forward. So this I felt was a sign from God. And this happened several times. It was not once. Because you know how I am. I mean, I am very indecisive. I can't take decisions.
Yeah.
Whether it is anything, even food. You were asking me what do you want to eat. And I'm like, anything else. I don't know. I can't make those decisions. Small decisions. I give a lot of thought into it, and I think a lot. I overthink a lot. So I'm like, such big decision in my life, marriage. I really need clarity from God. And I think that was a very big answer from God, that every time I went back, there was clarity. Clarity even in those times when Freddie and I used to have video calls and there'll be something that we will fight about. Still, I will go back home and I'll be like, nice, it was nice. Good we had this conversation. And never felt even for a moment that, oh my gosh, this is draining. I never felt that. We talked through, we had our mentors again. I mean, we clarified things, but it went forward. So I think the entire dating journey was a reassurance from God. So I can't name one particular thing. This was a moment.
True.
There were several moments
Several
like
moments.
that.
And also,
And I
I
felt
think a
he's the
lot of
one.
people, when they see red flags, sometimes they get so confused as to, like, should I even take this forward or not? I think you answered very rightly. You will have peace because you are talking about it. You are making sure that you're speaking about all the problems and you are resolving them, and then you are getting back together
Right.
to God. I think that is so much more important comparatively. So, girls, if you have to pick the man, and if you want to know if he's right or not, then obviously you will have to ask God. And God is someone who listens, and God keeps listening to every single prayer. Like, it can be even a small silly prayer that we do, but God definitely listens. But at the end of it, we should always make sure that God is the center of it, and you will definitely have your problems. See if the other person is always helping you resolve them, having God as the center of it, and you're not coming back with confusion but clarity.
That's right.
It's nice. So, looking back now, do you really see that God was actually preparing you in your waiting season, and how was it?
Yeah, true, Soumya. I think every season God prepares you for the next.
Right.
I think that's what I have seen in my life. I think when you're studying, God prepares you for your job. When you're working, God prepares you for your next role. When that happens, God prepares you for next phase. So God keeps preparing you for the next phase that comes
Right.
in your life. And I think my waiting season taught me a lot to trust God. With marriage and with motherhood comes a bigger responsibility.
Right.
So I think if I am not in tune with God, the next two roles is going to be a disaster for me.
So much.
It is going to be a disaster.
Right.
If I keep thinking of myself, myself, I am the center of my own world and I want to please myself, I am the queen of my life that I built, it's going to be a disaster. I think that waiting season made me rely on His power more. And His power became more visible for me in quietness and trust.
That's
right? In those quiet moments, in those lonely moments, I think I saw Him shine all the more brighter. And I think that chapter of my life was very much important for me before I started being a wife and mother, because this is a different ride altogether.
True,
And
true.
without God, it's definitely not possible. And I think He taught me to hold on to Him all the more and trust Him, even when I don't see anything ahead of me happening. I don't see the road. I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I think He wanted me to trust Him now, this
right.
moment, right
Right.
now.
Yeah.
Trust me, I will take you forward. So I think that helped me a lot. That relationship helped me a lot in my next roles.
That's so true. I see it, how it even shaped you as the woman that you are today, and God definitely answered all those prayers for you just trusting Him during that waiting season.
Yes.
Amazing. So, how did you feel when the marriage that you were actually waiting for finally happened? How did that change your relationship with God?
I think I was so happy because it's like your prayers are being answered. You're experiencing that, something that you prayed for so long, and you prayed for this custom made man,
Right.
and a lot of things, of course, I prayed for, but then God gave me what I needed. Not
Right.
all that I wanted. Of course, there's so many things I wanted, but I think he exactly gave me who I need and who I need to walk this journey of life with. And I think even as I was walking down the aisle, there's so many, memories that came in my mind. I mean, it was like, okay, it felt very unreal because it's happening.
Happening.
And yeah, it felt
Is
very
it really
unreal.
happening?
Is it really happening?
Yeah.
And then yeah, I think when God fulfills His promises, it comes in like big way.
Right. Right.
And when you least expect it, I think that's when He says, you just trust me. You will not see what the future looks like, but you trust me. And I think with that also comes new responsibilities.
True.
So I think as I was soaking in and I was happy, I also was like, okay, now it's a different role and
Correct.
new responsibility comes in.
Correct.
So I think it was a mix of both very, very happy.
Mm.
Also, I was very nervous about this new
The new journey that you're
responsibility,
going
new
to.
journey, new responsibility.
Yes.
And this is something that I prayed for. So God has given me, and
Uh,
I have to take care of it. I have to take care, because marriage is a covenant, right?
yes.
It is a covenant,
It is.
right? So I have to protect, I have to safeguard, I have to keep this pure and holy. Just like the relationship between Christ and church, I have to keep this relationship pure and holy. So it's a huge responsibility.
It is. And you are
So that's
doing
what I
it
said. With
so well.
excitement came responsibility.
But I wanted to say that you're doing it so well. Which
You should
brings
ask
me.
my husband.
We should definitely ask Freddie. So that brings me to the next question. Was it very difficult for you to transition from a very busy ministry life to this season as a new wife?
It was very difficult, Soumya. I think a lot of affirmation came from what you did when I was like as a single, right? You're so, I mean, not, I wouldn't say used to, but then your nervous system knows, okay, you do this, you're satisfied. You do this, you're content, right? So I did a lot. I kept myself busy. I did something that I loved doing, and um, we used to attend so many this one, right, the mighty group, and um,
Different
teaching sessions, so many teaching sessions we were part of, and constantly you're learning, and me being this person who always like to learn stuff, and I'm very curious, right? I want to learn a lot of things. Suddenly you transition into another role where you have to put these things in practice.
Yes.
So my singlehood was more of
Learning.
learning and
Yeah.
soaking it in, and what is it? Fruits of the Spirit, Galatians 5, fruits of the Spirit, peace, joy, love, patience, forgiveness. And then comes marriage life, where you have to apply everything.
Yeah.
Love,
Yeah.
patience, forgiveness. So for me, it felt like theory and practical. Because you have this person, right, who's also a disciple, who also loves God just like you, and he also sees the
Everything.
ugly side of you, how you react when the dishes are not done, and how you react when you're in the traffic, and
Yeah.
you can't be calm and patient, right? You react. He sees your
Yeah.
real self,
Yeah.
and you have someone who constantly, right, encourages you, lifts you up, and holds you accountable. So it was, what is it was a great shift, but I felt here the ministry was myself, working on myself, applying those scriptures on myself.
Yes.
Right. So I think it shifted from outward ministry to inward ministry.
That is so true. Outward
yeah.
ministry to inward. Because I think while being a single, it is all about just learning, and it's all theory, right? You have not lived it. But once you're married, it is inward ministry. You will have to like start living it.
Start
And
living it. Of
yeah.
course, you have to live scriptures while you're single as well, but then uh, in marriage, you have to forgive that person 10,000 times. You have to let go of your anger, and choose your marriage every time, show up every time, right? It's not easy. Even when you're frustrated, even when you're angry, you have to choose love, you have to choose forgiveness.
True.
Right? And that's why maybe God demonstrated it, like how Christ loves the church. Husband should love the wife.
That's exactly
And
right. Right.
I think it's a beautiful illustration. I think that's what happens in marriage.
And that's so deep, right?
Very, very deep.
Yeah.
And you have to you might have to leave your old self, and then become this different person for
New
good.
self. Yeah.
For good,
Yeah.
I'm saying, for
Yeah.
good. And yeah, so that's what I said, a lot of work inside of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much work. So, how did becoming a mother reshape your understanding of God?
I think this is my most favorite phase of life. I
Every
think
one
I've
of us know
understood
that.
God more during
Yes.
this phase of life, and
Yes.
I'm still understanding God more.
Yeah.
I think the depth of God's love that this phase of life shows, all my life I've never understood, right? The how you can repeatedly love someone, how you can be gentle consistently, and how you can put kindness over everything else, and how you can show up even when you're exhausted, right? I think there's so many characters of God came alive in me during this. I'm not saying I'm the perfect mom, and I also lose my cool so many times. I
Yes.
yell,
Yes.
I lose my cool, I cry, they see all my emotions. But then overall, if I have to see, I mean, love has deepened so much and unconditionally. I mean,
Yes.
I understood what means to love
Unconditional.
unconditionally.
Yeah.
What does it mean to give to someone selflessly? I think how to sacrificially love someone. All these I understood after becoming a mother. I think my relationship with God, got more deeper after I, become a mother.
That's so
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. So, Sheetal, that brings me to the next question. How does ministry look like for you now in this season of marriage and parenting?
So my version of ministry right now is very simple. It's become very simple, Soumya. I think it's become more like reading, spiritual Bible stories for kids, right? Those bedtime prayers and apologizing to them, saying sorry to them. Uh, because I think we grew up in families where elders didn't really apologize to their kids, right?
Right.
Even if they were wrong. It was usually the kids who would be put on a spot and they would apologize, or they would be blamed for everything. But I think now consciously we've made that change, the shift, that if we are doing wrong, we apologize. Right? Age is not a thing. Right? If I did a mistake, I will apologize. So sometimes even to get down at that level and say, you know what, Edlin, I'm sorry. You know what, Edlin, I'm sorry I did this. Right? It's my mistake. And even asking them to forgive me, right? And accepting me. Being humble, practicing humility at home, um, choosing gentleness and kindness over anything. I think
Right.
these are my, this is my ministry right now. This is how ministry looks like for me. While I am changing them, while I'm helping them, I'm also helping myself. So it's like both the sides, right? One of them beautifully said that the best contribution is not about what you give to the world, but whom you raise.
Right.
So I think I have taken that very seriously. I heard it somewhere and I have taken that very seriously. It really convicted me.
Yes.
And I started believing this is my ministry.
Right.
God has entrusted these two little children in my hands, and I have to raise them up, right? In the fear of God, and because the world is very demanding. It's changing. It is changing so much,
So much.
right? In the last 5 years itself, it has changed so much, and I have to raise kids who will not, leave God's hands, who will be kind, who will choose kindness. I made that intentional choice that I have to be gentler at home. Like, for example, there's a lot of gentle parenting that happens,
parenting.
right?
Yes.
I am not a gentle parent for sure. I am not a gentle parent, but then I really want to make parenting joyful. I want to make it more understanding for kids. It's not like I'm the parent, you're the child, right? You listen to me, you obey me. Obedience comes, before everything. Of course, obedience is important, but then I also teach them you can talk, you can you can, not raise your voice, but then you have a voice, you can
Right.
talk,
Right.
right? Mama will listen, and if I have to say something, also I'm very respectful, right? So there's respect in this relationship. So many things like this I'm trying to intentionally put in my family.
Yeah, that was definitely my second question as to how did you even come across this gentle parenting? Like, because I see you being very kind to your children at all times. I've never
all
seen you
times.
spank them. I've never seen you spank them, and I think that takes a lot of patience. Just to be so patient with them and just to try to teaching them in the right way, in a gentle way. Though you have your nerves at sometimes, you have your frustrations, or because you're also a working woman, right? And there's so much on your plate, and you will have to take so much. And yet, I see you following this gentle parenting and not, spanking them or not scolding them, in a louder way, but just trying to teach them in a good, gentle, kind way. How did this happen? Like, from where did it come? How did this idea come to you?
I think this parenting style was a very conscious decision that I chose, Soumya, because I feel, you know, they are just small children. Sometimes we show our frustrations on them, right? I am angry. I had a very bad day at work, and I come home, and then when they ask me for something, I just lash it out on them. And but they don't deserve that. They deserve to have a beautiful childhood. I should not rob that childhood from them. And I think I am responsible to give them good childhood. I think that consciously runs on my mind, that I am responsible for the childhood that they will have only once, right? I should
Yes.
make it nice for them,
Yes, yes.
right? And it's not like we don't have no's in the house. We have a lot of no's also. But then I try to make it easy for them. I try to explain things to them. Like with Edlin, definitely I have not spanked her at all, because I somehow don't believe in spanking.
Yes.
I don't believe in
Uh,
giving them two and then making them do. I'm sure others have different style of parenting. This is just my take,
Yes, yes.
right? I'm not saying you should follow whatever I'm saying, but then I feel, try explaining to that child. The child will understand. Try explaining. Try make it fun for them. If he's not able to understand, try repeating that once again, right? You had this child, you made that conscious decision to have the child, right? I think it's your responsibility also uh, to give that child that happy life, right? Don't make it stressful. Don't make it stressful for that child.
Yeah.
And I think that is something which has really helped me. And it's not like every time I'm always happy and I'm always
Yes.
kind. It's not like that. I've had my low times. That's where I have my mom friends, and I go talk to them. And I have not a lot of friends, but few friends whom I talk to, whom I share my frustrations with. I say, this is what I am going through right now, and I hear back from them. So that has helped me a lot. I think emptying your cup, refilling it up,
Yeah.
right, helps a lot. And you
Yes.
need to have that girl gang with you, right? You
Very
can't do this
important.
alone. You can't do this
Yes.
alone. Of course, husband is there, parents are
True.
there, you have your support system, you have your village. But I think even having your own mom friends is so, so important. I think that has helped me survive. That has helped me keep going. So yeah, I talk to them. I see what worked for them. If that can help me, I take my breaks. I sometimes, even before reacting, I breathe in and then breathe out before explaining. So I think with Edlin, that has worked a lot, explaining, talking to her in a calm way, and making her understand this is what it is. Drawing boundaries has helped.
But have you ever felt tempted to spank? Because proverb says, right, that you should not withhold the discipline from the children. Like, you will have to, when it is due, you will have to discipline them in that way so that they don't walk in the wrong path. How do you see this gentle parenting and this proverbs
So
coming
I
into
am
picture?
not withholding discipline, Soumya. I am not withholding discipline. I am just choosing not to spank them. Okay, so I am disciplining them. I do give consequences. I do tell her what can go wrong. She will not be able to see her favorite show for certain, days, and so she will face the consequences. Maybe her sleepover will get cancelled. These things have worked with her, right? But I somehow do not want to hit, because hitting is a big no in our house.
Yes, yes.
It's a big no, because I
Yes, it is a
feel,
good boundary to
yeah,
have.
yeah, because I feel somewhere down the line I'm teaching her it is okay to hit another person to get things done
Right.
your way.
Right.
So with Efren, what helps is playful parenting helps him. You do something playfully and then you try to explain to him. For Edu, it's more like just explanation. She'll
Yes.
understand.
Yes.
Yeah, so I chose playful parenting, and for her, more like being gentle and explain. She
Yes.
understands.
Yes.
So it's not that I'm withholding discipline. There's a lot of discipline, of course, at home. They know their boundaries. They know certain things they're not supposed to do. But yes, spanking is something that we have.
Is a big no.
Is a big no.
And that is such a right choice, because I think these people are going to grow up as adults, and they should not be thinking that, okay, hitting someone is going to help my wish come true, or they're going to behave as I want them to behave,
Right,
just because
right.
I say that, okay, I'll give you one or something. Yes, that is so right. And I'm sure those two kids are going to grow up as such beautiful individuals tomorrow. So, Sheetal, I have known you as a girl with a lot of friends. You've been intentional about friendships during all the seasons of your life. How did this friendship teach you about boundaries and faith and life? How did it affect you? What did it teach you?
I think having good friendships is one of greatest blessings that God has given me, Soumya. I think at every phase I've had such good friends. I might not have the same friends now, but I think at that time I needed that friend and God blessed me with. That's how I see it. I don't see as this friend I'm not in touch with anymore, and there's some kind of hatred towards that person or that person hates me. It's not like that. We still in touch. Whoever my old friends, we are still in touch. Maybe they are not in my journey of life right now, but that doesn't mean I don't like them or they didn't play an important role in my life. No, at that point of life I needed them, they needed me, and God used each other, right, to build each other, to strengthen each other. And I think that was good. And my time in their life was over, so I moved on. So they also moved on. That is how I started seeing it now, right? Yeah, so few years back, whenever I used to have issues with my friends or I don't have those friends anymore, I used to feel like why I'm not able to keep the same kind of friends, for many years. The very few friends I have for almost a decade now, right? But so many came, went off. I was in few people's life and then I left. And then I kind of thought a lot about it, why. But then I realized that it's okay. Not all of them are meant to be there with you forever. And forever means, for
At least until the day we are here,
yeah, not meant to be. And if they are there for a short time, they have impacted you, like they have encouraged you, they have been there with you, and that's enough for you to carry forward, right? I think I've had a lot of friends, like you mentioned. I love making friends, and I love keeping that gang because I cannot, be alone. I'm not a loner. I can't be alone. I need people in my life. I need to talk. I need to vent out. I need to go out. I need to, like I said, that is my way of filling my cup, right? Just like how I go to God and fill my cup, I also need people to fill my cup. I need to listen to their experience.
Okay, so what do you think makes friendships draining rather than life giving?
I think having a lot of expectations on another person can drain them somewhere. I think I have felt drained with some of my people. Yeah, I have felt drained because that constant expectation from you. Of course, I was this kind of person 10 years ago, but I'm not the same anymore. My roles have changed, my responsibilities have changed. But if you are expecting me to be the same person, no, I'm not. And I can't be that person, right? So when you have that expectation on me, it drains me. I will not get drained when you keep talking to me, when you nag about certain things again and again, when you have long rants, that will not drain me. But when I cannot do certain things, but you're constantly expecting that from me, and when you taunt me, then that drains me, right? And I think I've been vocal about certain friendships. I've told them that this is not what I want, and that's where I set my boundaries. That's where boundaries come, and this is my bracket. This is how much I can give right now. And when I'm giving this, this is 100%. Now I can't stretch, and I can't expand more than this because there's something else that I have to do. My priorities have changed, right? So when there's so much expectation, it drains.
That's right. That's rightly said. So, what are some of the struggles that people may not see in this season of your life?
So many. I think there are so many silent battles that I fight every single day. I think starting from like being a working mother, every time I drop off my child at the daycare, I think uh, I might not show it on the outside, but then that constant thought, like, is he fine? Will he have a fall? Did he eat well? Uh, did he, so many things, right? These are all battles that I fight inside of me. And when I'm at work, if I get a call from my home, like, what is this call for? It can be a normal call, but then constantly your mind thinks that that's just the mom brain, right? Which always keeps thinking. I wish there was a pause button or stop button, but I don't think so. There will ever be. So this constant fear of, I hope they are safe. I hope they are fine, right? That is also a struggle, I feel, right? Because you're not with them 24 bar 7. And that's where, your trust in God comes into picture.
In the same way, what would you want to tell these married women and mothers they feel that their purpose is looking a little different now? What would you want to tell them?
I'm also working with this mother. It's like I'm also learning a lot
Yes.
every single day. But what I would like to encourage other fellow mothers is that I think our heart is rewired to love deeply, right? And that's the most beautiful, sacred purpose, right? And that is going to make us the strongest version of ourselves. Right? There is beauty even in exhaustion.
Yes.
Only motherhood can teach that, right? And I think we should embrace that. We should cling on to that, embrace that. It's beautiful.
Okay. So how can we trust God through changing seasons without losing ourselves?
I think you will lose yourself a lot of times. You will lose. Now the beauty is you will have to get up. You will have to bounce back. With God in your boat, you will definitely bounce back. And I think that is very, very important. Don't fight this battle alone. Every season, don't fight this battle alone. With God by your side, you can move mountains. Right? And I have experienced that so many times in my life. Like I felt this is huge for me to do. I can't. A lot of times I've also shared this as a good news or testimony. It sounds very unrealistic sometimes. People will think, did you really pray about this? But then there's so many places, right? I've asked God about this, and God has turned things around for me. As simple as I think I've shared this, like even praying for a boy after I had a girl child, and then I second when I wanted a boy, I knew I'm going to have only 2 children. We were very clear about that, and wanted to have a boy, and how God blessed me with a boy. And then I also had this secret desire, God, I really want a boy with a dimple. I wanted it because
a dimple.
Yes, and I'm like so blown away by the way God answers prayers. And then my husband is the witness of all these prayers because he's seen me praying these prayers. And I mean, God gives when you genuinely. I mean, I'm not saying if God's not answering, that means you're not genuine. I'm not saying that.
No.
But then God looks at those silly prayers, those cute prayers, those prayers that you want. He will definitely answer.
So as a closing question, what gives you hope today?
Hope is, so God has brought me this far. He's faithful to take me further.
Yes.
I think He definitely will.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sheetal, for coming here.
Thank you so much, Soumya. I think it was so good to revisit my life. I think I wouldn't have otherwise, right? You helped me revisit those moments and feel those moments once again. I think even when I was talking to you about God answering my prayers, I had goosebumps. And I think that's what it is. That's how real it is. And I think I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much.
And I'm so glad that you are here. For those who are listening, if you also are encouraged listening to her story, please know that God is definitely listening to you. God is definitely seeing you, and God will definitely show up for you as well. Thank you so much for being a part of Soul Conversations. Until next time.